Folk is a little favored against Reanimator, but I'm not totally sure on that. And with Gristlebrand, who knows?
Yeah, who knows how the scales tip with something like Gristlebrand. Now we know, Lord of Atlantis already is great because of the island walk it provides against a Reanimator deck that obviously plays islands. And if Merfolk can come out of the gates fast enough before Reanimator is able to get something on the board, having something like Curse Catcher to stop the reanimation spells, the daze, again, it's a similar thing. While Thalia was on the table, basically being a daze, a permanent daze, Merfolk still has access to those effects in the form of something like Curse Catcher right there.
And so Ian plays Curse Catcher, and not only does he have the awesome one we were just talking about, Curse Catcher, but I see a Tormod's Crypt and I think a Grafdigger's Cage in his hand as well, plus a Force of Will, and maybe Lord of Atlantis or two, so he's got some stuff going on there. It's crazy. Merfolk is doing well this weekend. Just wait until Master of the Pearl Trident comes out in M13.
Oh my gosh.
Really exciting.
Mono Lords. It's like Regery, Lord of Atlantis, and then the, Master of the Pearl Trident?
Right.
So there is Tormod's Crypt.
Yep, and Jesse knows now, all right, it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to maybe show and tell something into play. I see a lot of lands in Jesse Hampton's hand. For a deck that doesn't play that many lands, there's quite a few of them hiding in there.
Hard cast Gristlebrand then? Is that the plan?
It probably happens. Maybe not by Jesse, but
no,
somewhere.
we've actually seen it this weekend. The mono black control deck that top aided in the standard portion was hard casting Gristlebrand.
Oh, I'm talking about hard casting it out of Reanimator and Legacy.
Oh yeah, no, that's not very, that doesn't happen very often.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 10 mana producing lands in his deck. Seems very likely. I kind of like Jesse's technology here. He's got one Caracas in his Reanimator deck just so he can get his opponents. That's kind of sweet.
I like that too.
So it looks like Jesse's going to go for an Entomb? Or no, Pithing Needle. Oh, there we go. Needle the Tormod's Crypt. So Jesse
nice.
dazes, I think that was the Curse Catcher, judging by the fact that it's in the graveyard. And untaps, plays his Underground Sea, and opts to cast nothing. Oh, Jesse dazed the Tormod's Crypt, and then Ian countered it with the Curse Catcher.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, we're both looking down at lists
and Lord of Atlantis comes down for Ian, and Jesse's going to opt for a Brainstorm in response, trying to find maybe a way to interact, maybe a daze. Oh, and he found one.
He did, yeah.
He's got an Entomb sitting there in his hand as well. Entomb is nice with Brainstorm because it shuffles, just another one of the nice synergies here, right? You can put 2 cards back on top, daze this Lord of Atlantis, and then untap and, Entomb if he wants to shuffle, or Pithing Needle his Tormod's Crypt and Entomb in his next upkeep. So he's got some options.
Does he play 8 fetches, is that? Or
even more? 10 fetches.
10 fetches.
No, sorry.
Okay.
14 fetches. He's not fooling around with his fetch lands.
Wow, so that's a lot of shuffle effects, plus Entomb, plus Ponder. It's a lot of shuffle effects.
No, I just can't count. 12 fetches.
Okay. 14's a lot.
Yeah, that is a large number of fetch lands.
Okay, so the daze actually resolves against Lord of Atlantis.
Right. I think Ian has another Lord in his hand. I see a Wasteland, a Force of Will. So next turn, Ian can potentially Wasteland Jesse Hampton's Underground Sea, which might be a big deal, and play a Lord of Atlantis. So Underground Sea comes down for Jesse Hampton, and he just passes the turn. He could Pithing Needle that Tormod's Crypt here, but I think he's probably playing around Daze. He knows that Ian has Daze in his deck, and he doesn't want his crucial reactive spell to the Tormod's Crypt to get Dazed. But yeah, there's Wasteland on Underground Sea, and Jesse's going to float a mana.
Probably black.
Yep, black for the Entomb. Note that Ian drew Sower of Temptation there, so if Jesse were to cast Show and Tell, Ian could Sower the...
Whatever it is Jesse puts into play, yeah. Sower of Temptation. Again, that card only really sees play in Merfolk, but that's a nice tool that Merfolk has access to against all these, big game unfair decks.
Right. Yeah, it's great. Note that it's interesting, if you Sower a Gristlebrand, they still get to draw 7 cards, but if it resolves, then the Merfolk deck will be drawing 7 cards, and that's huge. All right, so Jesse uses that black mana to cast Entomb. And what do you think he's going to get here?
I mean, you don't play 4 Gristlebrands for no reason. So
I like, that's a good motto. It's like, if you're going to play Gristlebrand, you better cast a Gristlebrand.
I do like what he paused on there was the Elish so that's another potential thing. But he's going to go with Gristlebrand.
Yeah. Norn is a beating here, and I think he probably expects his graveyard to get crypted.
Yeah,
So he doesn't want to expose his one Elish Norn yet.
Right, and that's my logic too. He does have an additional Entomb in his hand for post crypt. Any post crypt shenanigans.
Grafdigger's
Cage. We knew that it was there, but Jesse didn't.
Right. I'm sure that's 2 hate artifacts. Now he can stop the crypt via Pithy Needle, but stopping that cage is going to be rough. I don't know if Jesse boarded in his 2 show and tells or not. But even if he did, Ian has that soar. The one saving grace for Jesse, though, Ian doesn't have a ton of pressure on the board. He's going to play Lord of Atlantis, but without any other merfolk, it's just a 2-2. You know? It's just cast UU Grizzly Bears. Draws Animate Dead, okay. Now, not going to do anything against that Grafdigger's Cage, though.
I love the flavor of Grafdigger's Cage. And I think they were actually real things. You know, people in like Victorian era used to actually put those over the graveyard, over coffins in the ground, just in case something actually came back from the dead.
Right.
I love that.
Humans are hilarious. When you look back at history, it kind of makes you wonder in like 200 years what kind of hilarious things we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And have them laugh at us. So, All right, so Ian cracks his Polluted Delta, going to find his 3rd land. Ian really aggressively fetching up non-basic lands here with 2. All right, so he's got 2 underground seas, and now he fetches for an island. So there we go. Gets a normal land. Gorgeous though, an unglued.
Yeah.
I love this.
I still prefer the unhinged, but I love, like, for me, what I do is use my unglued ones for legacy, my unhinged ones for modern, and then like Zendikar ones are cool ones for standard.
You have them in little tiers.
Yeah,
formats.
exactly.
So Ian plays a Mutavault. That'll be helped up by the Lord of Atlantis, pummeling some more damage. All right, so Jesse drops the Needle now, and I can't imagine Ian will do anything else but crack his crypt here. Although I think Jesse's actually going to name Mutavault with that Needle.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's put Ian in a position here to potentially, crack his crypt, and then Jesse say Mutavault.
Yeah. Well, if I were Ian, I think I would still crack the crypt just because you don't want to get like Echoing Truth or something. But naming Mutavault is brutal. Now, these 2 players are kind of friends. They know each other, so it's possible that they've seen each other's deck lists. So he might know everything Jesse has. Jesse only has 1 Echoing Truth in his sideboard. So, yeah, that's really his only answer. He's got 1 Echoing Truth in his sideboard. That's all he can do against a cage.
That looks like it says Mutavault, doesn't it?
Yep, that's Mutavault. And Ian
plays a second Mutavault.
So Jesse's happy about that.
Confirmed that is Mutavault.
All right, Jesse rips another land. Time to cast Gristlebrand, man. That's what I'm telling you. 8 mana.
Yeah, he's getting there. Halfway there.
Ian draws Phantasmal Image, so now he's probably going to image that Lord of Atlantis. I imagine he'll image with the Lord and then start crunching in for 6 a turn. That puts Jesse on a quick clock. The 2 damage right now, Jesse can buy some time.
Right.
But the 6 damage from an image plus the Lord.
That's going to be too much, I think.
Now he just passes the turn. I felt like with the Sower you could afford to play the image. But you might want to save it for show and tell, I guess, is what he's thinking. So it looks like Jesse draws Duress there. This is 1 Duress.
Yeah, and he's going to see what's up. So he's going to see Force, Sower, Image, and I believe that's all that's in Kendall's hand, right?
Yeah.
Just 3 cards.
Now, if you're in Kendall, you just hardcast Force here, right? Yeah.
So that's what he does.
Does it the old-fashioned way. Taps 5 mana, counter your spell. Who needs cancel when you've got Force of Will? All right, and Jesse once again has to just pass back. Ian rips a Scalding Tarn, another land. Crunches in for 2 with the Lord of Atlantis.
Or is he looks like he's going to go Image, then...
Yeah, I like imaging.
Image, then crunch in for 3.
I probably would have done it last turn, but you know,
he was able to cast the Force of Will there that he otherwise would have lost his Sower if he wanted to do that, or just been duressed.
All right, Jesse draws and just has to pass the turn back. All right, Jesse's sitting at 4 life. Will this be it? What can Reanimator do to get out of this? Taps 5. The old 5 mana Silvergill Adept.
Wow.
But still good enough. Ian has a lot of lands. He drew another Lord of Atlantis there too. Even reanimating Gristlebrand is not good enough because of the Island Walk on those guys. If Jesse could show and tell,
oh my gosh,
he reels his hand. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's that. Just his hand at the end of the game. 2 reanimation spells and 3 entombs.
Yeah, I mean, how's that game play out without the crypt or the Grafdigger's cage? You know what I
Right,
mean?
and
Like
it's
how
brutal
ridiculous,
without
or
this.
even just one or the other. You know, like I guess if the cage was there, the crypt doesn't even matter. He wasn't able to find an answer for the cage, but you draw your hate cards against a deck that is kind of very focused on the graveyard or on one particular element, and I think you're gonna win.
Yeah, that's why they're there, right? They're in the sideboard so you can draw them, and good job there.
Yeah.
Back in the booth, everybody. Hi, at the Star City Games Open Series here in Seattle.
Yeah.
Guest commentator